Yo, you gigolos with the most below. We have the pleasure of serving you yet another free games this week video. This is the series where I scout the interwebs and see what games are up for grabs, be it free to keep, free to play for a limited time, or anything in between. Let's start on the Epic Store with some juicy goodness that is Callisto Protocol. To be honest, I'm a little bit torn about this bad boy. Callisto Protocol is artistically beautiful, the audio stage and production is amazing, and you can absolutely feel the love and passion poured into this project from its developers. It's a 10 out of 10. But my issues come from the gameplay. I mean, most of the close combat, the fluidity and the jankiness of everything I experienced at least through my playthrough. On release, the optimization was dog shit. I think my grandmother with a double hip replacement could run a little bit better. The stuttering and FPS drops were abysmal for a full asking price AAA game. But to be fair, I think the developers have got their shit together and fixed most of the performance issues with the game, and which is great for you because you can get the game for $0 post optimization. And with that in mind, it's actually a pretty good deal. Next freebie to claim on the Epic Store is a gigantic Rampage edition. An originally free-to-play MOBA and hero shooter that didn't get the treatment that it deserved from its previous publisher, and despite its relative short lifespan, it actually amassed a decent fanbase. I still blame Perfect World for its demise. It's like they weren't even taking this bad boy seriously and wanted it to be a success. It's a super fun game that's absolutely worth having in your library, and it looks pretty unique even in today's standards. Not to mention its hardware requirements are laughably low, so you could even run it on your grandmother's toaster and you'd be absolutely fine. It's easy to jump in and play a few matches because they're designed to be fast paced and the game are relatively low skill floor. I think it's for sure worth checking out and parking in your digital library. You can always take it up for a spin if you don't have anything better to play. Then starting next week, and more specifically starting the 29th of August, you can claim Fallout Classics Collection and Wildcard Football. I'm not completely sure that the Fallout Classic Collection needs an introduction. It's a trifecta of Fallout, Fallout 2 and Fallout Tactics. All three games are rich in Fallout lore and a history, and all great games to add to your digital library. You might be looking at these games and thinking, holy smokes, it looks like graphics from when Jesus was walking on Earth. But there was a wise man that said something along the lines of gameplay is more important than graphics. Alongside the Fallout Classics collection, you can also claim Wildcard Football, which is a fun pick-up-and-play arcade-style football game featuring 7 vs 7 team-focused gameplay. What makes this bad boy special is the unique wildcard system that lets you change the course of the action in an instant with special power-ups and rule-breaking abilities. A fun game that really doesn't take itself too seriously, just like myself, and that makes it even more fun to play. Oh, and listen up, if you wanna stay up to date on free games and get them served to you in this quick and quirky setting, then do us both a favor and smash the subscribe button. You get free games and I get the happy time. And as always, links to all of the games mentioned in this video are in the description and they take you straight to the deal, so no googling required. Next up, we have Classic Marathon, which you can also argue came out when Jesus was walking on Earth. I remember loading this bad boy up in my room sometime in 1994, and I had no idea about the juicy goodness that was coming my way. If you've played Classic Marathon before, this is reality. The Steam version is just about identical with the achievements sprinkled on. And if you're new to this is effectively a boomer shooter that came with a free sci-fi novel. If you like shooters, puzzles and story-driven games, then you should definitely try this bad boy out. You will probably enjoy it, at least a little bit. And nonetheless, it will give you an idea about how gaming was done while you were swimming around in your daddy's nutsack. Next up, and I pretty much feel that I've spoken about this before, but the official launch of Predecessor is now available on all platforms. Predecessor is this fast-paced action game that combines MOBA and FPS gameplay, putting you at the heart of the fight with the strategic choices, third-person control and some pretty immersive action. It's mostly giving me Smite vibes. I mean, if any of you can remember that game, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It is for sure worth placing in your digital library and taking it for a spin if you have nothing better to play. While we're here, I want to do a quick mention to Splitgate 2, which is free to play, or at least it has a free to play session. Here you suit up and portal into the action as an elite ace in Splitgate 2, a 4 vs 4 free to play shooter redefining what it takes to be number 1. Here, you have to choose your faction, customize your weapon, and master your portal skills. You can either play with friends if you're lucky enough to have any of those, or take the glory standalone, so to say. In order to claim access to the game, you have to head to the Steam page, which I've linked in the description, and sign yourself up. Once you click the request button, it shouldn't take too long for you to get access. I think it took me something like 20 minutes before I was ready to play. The nice thing about these types of sessions, it will give you a chance to take this bad boy out for a spin in anticipation for the full release to see if this is something for you. And that pretty much brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks a lot for taking the time to watch my video. Thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, subscribe if you haven't, like yeah, why not? Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.